One day, Melvin enters the restaurant to find his seat occupied. He drives the person away with a few words and orders from his preferred waiter a real success. Subtitle: her name is Carol, the only one Melvin allows physical contact with, probably his biggest bother. He brings his own utensils to meals. Carol ignores it. She orders some unhealthy junk food. Carol shakes her head, saying her body may send a distress signal if this continues. But then, unexpectedly, Melvin blurts out something truly shocking that crosses Carol's bottom line. Everyone who's familiar with her knows she has a seriously ill son. She tensed up, thinking, who knows if her son might just vanish one day? So, Carol fell silent upon hearing that. Sensing the storm brewing inside Carol, Melvin realized had put his foot in it. You know what I mean. Want to give me a little feedback? Usually Melvin talks freely about weather and life, but this time, facing Carol's anger, he's at a loss and has to apologize to keep dining here. Melvin's neighbor Simon is a painter, and one day she happens to meet a punk she wants to model for her, but surprise, his friends crash into the arcade and cause Simon tries to stop them, but ends up getting beat up bad. Luckily, Melvin walks by just in time to call 911 and rescue her. Frank wants to help her with work, but has no time for her dog. So, she goes around asking neighbors for help, only to get shot down by everyone. Subtitles: Melvin can't help but laugh mockingly from the side, which provides Frank with an opportunity for retaliation. Hadn't Melvin previously thrown her dog into the trash chute? This is the perfect moment to strike back. The little pup gets all worked up, ears drooping as it looks at Melvin, and instead of hate, it's all about survival now. Melvin tosses the pup some food, but it's never seen such fine dining and just stares at her, overwhelmed. Melvin, at a loss, starts playing a beautiful piano tune to calm her down, and sure enough, the pup begins to chill. Meanwhile, recovering Simon lies in bed post-surgery, looking pale as she stares at the mirror, thinking, how much foundation is this gonna take? She's had several stitches on her face, and being the beauty queen she is, demands the nurse hand her a mirror. After seeing her reflection, Simon's heart sinks like a rock, while Melvin and the pup grow closer by the minute. The restaurant's no-pet policy forces Melvin to tie the pup up by the door, just so she can keep an eye on her, sitting by the window. Watching the kids petting the little puppy, Melvin feels a warm tingle rising in her chest. On the road, Melvin notices something utterly ridiculous. The dog is, just like him, deliberately avoiding the gaps on the ground. Others find her behavior weird, but little do they know, the pup is copying her. Melvin gently picks up the pup, puts on gloves, and though smart, it knows not to disturb her. With the pup's company, Melvin finishes his 60-second novel titled Big Doggo. After a while, Simon finally gets to go home, while Melvin and the pup have become the best of friends. The moment Simon steps out of the hospital, she realizes the pup completely ignores her calls clearly. It's closer to Melvin now. Not wanting Simon to feel hurt, Melvin tries to give her an exit line. Melvin's personality is like sour grapes. Even well-meaning words come out all sarcastic. An unexpected twist slams Simon's life into the ground. Her fossil gets wrecked, her money is all gone, and her dog doesn't even want to The nurse tries to take the dog, but Simon is keen on forcing it. Melvin finds the dog's sudden absence disorienting. She begins to think she's ill and charges into the therapist's office the next morning. But with no appointment, the doc kicks her out, leaving Melvin fuming as she stormed back to the restaurant. Coincidentally, Carol's not working today, and Melvin won't take anyone else's service. She orders the new waiter to fetch Carol, only to hear that Carol has quit. Carol's son is gravely ill, and she has to find another job nearby. Melvin's emotions explode upon hearing this news. Melvin demands the waiter to call Carol and bellows, "Get her here now." The cafe hears the ruckus and comes to check it out, warning Melvin not to make trouble. Even though Melvin is a regular, the owner has been fed up with her for ages, and a dispute seems to be brewing. Noticing a police officer lurking menacingly nearby, Melvin swiftly realizes he can't cause any trouble here and decides to slip away in a hurry. The crowd bursts into cheers upon seeing this, and clearly no one is fond of her. Of course, she couldn't give a hoot. Melvin doesn't care what others think. so she heads to Carol's house. When Carol finds it's Melvin at the door, she's taken aback. Melvin smirks internally, as if no one can bear her temper. When Carol's son comes out, Melvin greets him, but the boy remains silent. Carol shoos Melvin away and then checks her son's temperature, realizing he has a severe fever. She quickly scoops up her son and rushes to the hospital, and just then, Melvin hails a cab. Carol flags Melvin down, asking for a ride to the hospital, and Melvin casually asks if she can return to work. Melvin hires a private doctor for Carol's son, who assures her he can help. Carol, moved by this, hugs the doctor, but then worries about the medical bills. The doctor casually informs her that Melvin's covering the costs. Carol never imagined Melvin would be her savior, while Simon's wallet has been empty for ages. Simon can't afford a nanny anymore. Before leaving, the nurse asks her about walking the dog, which isn't exactly a realist. Suddenly, the nanny thinks of Melvin. Simon disagrees at first, but finally gives in. Just when everyone thinks Melvin won't agree, she surprisingly and readily says yes. The nurse asks Melvin to watch over Simon, but Melvin refuses on the spot, as if it's a joke poor Simon isn't living her best life. The most tragic twist? The pup still refuses to get close to her. Now that's a tragedy in itself. Subtitles. If you enjoyed this video, please click subscribe and stay tuned for the latest hilarious content.